We're good to go. I'm going to start recording it instead. Having some issues with the stream, but I'll record it and then I'll post it.
Perfect.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I'd like to call the point one on the committee together, and we're going to start off first of all with DSS. We have 3 positions. Hello, how you doing? And first one up is request authorization from the chairman of the Board of Supervisors to fill 1 director of income maintenance position, base salary $75,015, and any backfills. And if you'd like to.
That's a retirement that's due for
involved in this.
September 29th. Yeah.
Okay,
it's,
I see that. Yep.
34-year service.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'll move it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the next one is to request authorization from the chairman of the Board of Supervisors to fill 1 director of administration and training position, base salary of $76,000. This also looks like from resignation also, is that correct?
Resignation. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Great. And we have another one here, request authorization from the chairman of the Board of Supervisors to create and fill 1 social service fiscal technician position, base salary of $54,374.
So
Now,
this was part of the plan from last summer.
from the last
Put
time,
together.
okay,
This last summer, which just the last piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
We came up with a
Yep.
director. We hadn't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
So
all right.
Is it, it's a new position then being created?
yes, it is essentially today on resolution from a plan that was sort of designed last summer. It's just I first had to get a director.
Got
To get it in that
She
position.
vacated a spot, had to get past that spot because
And it's all in this year's budget.
You got the budget,
Perfect.
right.
Then I'll move it.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Thank you, Rob. Okay, the sheriff. Oh, Jackie. All right, authorization for the sheriff's office to fill a vacant budgeted full-time deputy sheriff position. This is also due to resignation.
We had 7 recruits going to the academy.
Yep.
Now we have 2
Really?
in less than 2 weeks. Yeah,
What's the reason?
a myriad of reasons, but, you know,
Mm.
I'm starting my 29th year, so I'm jaded, so I can't.
So in your estimation, is there anything that we as the board can do? I mean, you have a lot of approved vacant positions right now, a lot on both sides, corrections and deputies. Is there anything that you or the sheriff can think of that we as supervisors might be able to do?
I'm shameless enough to go to senior meetings and recruit their grandkids and tell them how to go, raise them something serious. I don't know that there's anything else we can do. We're trying anything and everything on the recruiting end to get our faces out there
Right.
and attending as many functions as we can. The concern now is we may lose a few more state police of dang troopers.
Just gotta keep trying, keep working it.
Got to keep trying, and so we. I know there's interest in the next exam, which is in September, for a number of people, and so the hope is we can get the results as quickly as possible, and
Right.
do the backgrounds, get them through the door. I'm trying to see if maybe we can hire some people provisionally, knowing that they'll get on the test and get them through the academy, and that way we can get them in place sooner.
Right.
But every police agency is taking a hit these days. Nobody, hoping is cyclical. Where
Yeah.
policing
all
will
over.
become a noble, great
Yeah.
profession again, and people will join. But yeah,
Okay,
Second.
motion and a second, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, next one. Authorization for the sheriff's office to fill a vacated budgeted full-time sheriff position. This another one is resignation. Same situation.
Yes.
Yep.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay.
And the third one, can you get the third one?
Yeah, I got it. I'm just looking at it now. Authorization for the sheriff's office to fill a vacant budget full-time deputy sheriff position due to resignation.
Move it.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Future, you can put them all in one.
Oh,
Three.
she does them as they happen.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
So,
yeah.
I mean, you can do all three, as it'll save me typing and save you guys typing as well.
I have one more question. Basically, the resignation, the academy went from 7 to 2, and I apologize for me not understanding how that works. So while they're in the academy, they were already employees on the payroll, and then during the academy process, they said,
Just-
never mind.
Yes.
And that's what these are. These aren't people that have worked for us for a year. They're still in that process of going through the academy.
Right.
And is it normal to drop 50% or
Yeah.
30%
Um,
or,
Well,
I mean, 7 to 2 is a big jump, but
you know, I will tell you, me coming from state police, and I just had a conversation with a senior investigator there who did processing. They invited 2,500, 1,600 showed up. They lost another 700 the first day of processing. You will lose 40% during doing backgrounds. Because they're such a huge agency, the hit is not as, profound. For us, this is a phenomenal hit.
so if you want to end up with 5 employees, you want 15 to
Absolutely,
start.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Keep it up. Tony. Looks like you're looking for a mechanic again, huh?
Yeah, do you recall last month's point one?
I do remember. You have anyone at this point?
Positive today, Tom. I'm gonna be completely negative today. Things are terrible.
Authorization to fill one vacant position of auto mechanic in the Highway Department Machinery Fund at a base salary of $40,739. So do you have anyone?
I've had a couple people that are interested. The thing about this position, unlike the other one, it doesn't require a CDL.
Right.
This is our basic auto mechanic position. I do have one of my MEOs that's actually expressed some interest in it.
Okay.
And a couple outsiders that have. expressed
So one of
interest in it.
the guy who resigned, he's been there a while?
He's been there, I don't think he was quite out of his depths yet, or close to it.
Okay.
So I would say 3 years, maybe.
So I thought so, yeah.
Yeah.
And his reasoning or just,
Issues with other employees,
Oh, okay.
winter, snow and ice, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the same with the other position that, because we had one of our HEMs
Right.
resign as well, but
Right.
actually, he didn't resign, we gave him a leave back.
Right.
My thinking there was, if it doesn't work out at his other place,
You
you
can-
can come back, because he was a big asset. But I did it so that's 3 months, and it brings us right into October Public Works and
right,
November board, so
Right.
we can hopefully
Can work
get somebody in. Yeah.
okay.
But judging by how long it took us to get an applicant from the last HEM, it's not.
And the auto mechanics on the other end, how you doing on the truck shop?
We have 3, 3 out of 4. And then we have our welder, and we have our senior.
So that's
welder.
still holding okay, pretty good?
Yeah, yeah. We're one short on that end, and then our auto mechanic, he's the guy that does all our services.
Right.
So I have a question, just because my husband's a diesel mechanic, and, $40,000 is like probably less than half
Yeah.
of what he makes. So are you saying this is like just basic oil changes? It's not someone that needs to have a diesel mechanic degree or have gone to school?
Right, it's oil changes, small equipment services, minor repairs.
Right, air filters, so,
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're a Jiffy Lube.
Right,
But that type of
Right.
kind of more basic.
And that 40,000, that's with the current step program, so hopefully if that goes away, that's,
Right.
it's a pretty significant jump from step 1 to grade.
Right.
So, and
Okay, so that might help.
So that might
Fill
help.
some of these.
Yeah,
Okay.
and actually a grade rate, I think it's a little above what the MEO ones are making, so it might be something that MEO one that I stated that was interested in it. It might be something I want to do and kind of get him out of that, having to be on call 24/7 from November, which a lot of guys, it gets a lot of guys, especially if they have young kids, and I think that's the problem here. I believe both of these guys had young kids.
Did we get the time machine? You guys get that?
I believe it went to the central garage. I think we all chipped in for it.
Okay, we did get that, I'm just, I know that was something we were talking about.
Yeah, that was for central garage. Are tired down.
Okay. Okay,
I'll move it.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Sounds good.
Yep, have a good day.
All right, next up, Health and Human Services, authorization to create and fill one public health fiscal technician and abolish one bookkeeper.
I find it interesting that, this is a title that seems to be gaining some traction in the county district. Mr. Gibson has it over in his department. So this is the position that I brought to the committee last month, and it was tabled because the civil service folks wanted to take another look at it. They have approved it, but they approved it with a change in the title. I had come before you as a bookkeeper too. So this is one public health fiscal technician. As I explained last month, one of the side benefits or the side effects of COVID is that they're throwing a lot of money at us, throwing a lot of grants at us, and they require a higher level of tracking and whatever. And I also am a very strong believer in redundancy, and I don't. If Tim, my fiscal operator, fiscal guy got hit by a truck or won the lottery, I'm going to be in trouble because there's stuff that he knows how to do that nobody else does. I need somebody in between him and the bookkeeper. So we are going to abolish the bookkeeper position and create this and fill it from within. I have two people that have a lot of seniority and they both have indicated an interest in taking the exam.
Okay.
I wonder if I wonder if we could create an incentive program for cross-training. In other words, there were other employees who were willing to cross-train and put in the amount of time that we're requiring.
Right.
Maybe it could be financial reward for that.
Right.
In this particular instance, if you're cross-trained, you might know enough just to get you by until you find somebody.
This is a couple of this is a grade C's or ABCs above the bookkeeper position. So that in and of itself is an incentive. But I also will tell you that we would never have gotten through COVID like we got through COVID if the staff and early intervention and environmental didn't say, "What do you want me to do?"
Sure.
Let me come over and make some phone calls and whatever. And so I think that there's a real appetite out there among staff to be cross-trained.
Yeah, historically, I've always found that employees were fearful of being cross-trained because now you're going to ask me to do her job too, or his job too, and who's going to be doing mine while I'm doing their job. But if there was an understanding there,
I think it's something we should talk about. And stuff.
For all departments, because there's also ebbs and flows, right? When I look at the town department day, certain months where the town clerk's office is slower, but we can't then say to the staffing, sorry, you only have half the hours during these months, and they're gonna go find a job somewhere else. So, as a countywide for all departments, it might make sense to not even just within one department, but one department to the other, where when this department has some downtime and this one is busy, we can coordinate.
This is gonna be the same budget. You got money because you're abolishing one.
We have money. There's more. It's going to cost a little bit more in terms of salary. There's an increase of $5,500. We have it in the budget. We certainly have it in the budget. Something like that.
Move it.
second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
Thanks, Jack. Okay, sir. How you doing?
Good.
We have Health and Human Services, OFA, to fill a vacant site manager position.
Pardon me? No, this is due to a retirement.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
The other one was a new position, part-time, or per diem.
So this is just, how long is this a new retirement? I mean, they've been in there.
Yeah, just recently.
Okay.
And what our hopes is that we just filled the per diem position, and they're going through a training program, and they've expressed an interest in going to full-time, so hopefully we'll just have the part-time period of per diem open next month. So.
It's cross-trained.
Yeah.
There's the cross.
Already happened.
I'll move it.
Second. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
I have a
Karen.
question unrelated
Sure.
to point one, but because I'm not often at your committee meetings. How is the Everhome and the positions that we were staffing for home health aides? How's that all?
The positions for the home health aides, I'm pleased to say we don't have a waiting list anymore. That's worked
Wow.
out fantastic.
That's great.
We've got three per diem people in there, and we still have room for a fourth. But fortunately, all three have already been they had their certification, so they stepped right in,
And
so.
you got through the waiting list. That's
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah, the waiting list is gone. As far as Everhome goes, it's going very slow. And I'm gonna address that at our regular meetings later today, so. But, I think it's a good program, it's just not picking up.
We've been really pushing it in New Lebanon.
Yeah.
We're far. from
Right.
everything, right? So the idea of online access, we don't have doctors in New Lebanon, we don't have pharmacies, we don't have access to any healthcare.
Yeah, that's-
We don't have.
Have they been up there for any presentations at all?
They came, so we have a very active senior rep
I
from
know you do.
Mary Young. She's great. And she did a presentation. I believe they came out and met with our senior group. I think
okay,
part of it
good.
is that a lot of the seniors, when they hear it's online, they go, oh, I
Yeah.
don't even do email, right?
Yeah,
And so that might even scare them off from learning about it.
I think that's what a lot of the problem is right now
Yeah.
is that's gotta get addressed. So, and then the fact that, as you know, especially living up there, that, not everybody's connected,
Right.
internet, and
Right.
that's a necessity. You have to have that.
And they want to see a face, right? It's almost like the relationship has to be built and then they'll meet them online.
yeah.
But it's almost like the relationship has to get built face to face. Maybe there's a position that could be created that is a registration person,
Yeah.
liaison,
Yeah.
that is there. I can call them on the phone and say, this is my need, and they can help.
Or add that into the program.
Connect.
Well, it's my
Working in now.
understanding that they have, rented office space. Correct me if I'm, is that correct, BJ? Up at Private Hall or someplace like that. So, I guess it's just a matter of getting all the ducks in a row and.
Okay,
Thank you.
we're all set. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. James. So this is in finance, resolution to create and fill the deputy position of deputy controller. And maybe you can just give us a brief explanation.
Yeah, so we have, the current position is director of accounting and auditing, and we have a person in there who was gonna leave us, and we were able to kind of create this new position with a little bit of an increase as well as a stipend, because she does have a CPA license, right? And convinced her to stay for actually less money than she was getting for her other job offer. The reason we did the stipend for the CPA, that would not go with the position, so she left, right? The person coming in wouldn't have to fill it. That CPA license will save us upwards of $20,000 in fees. We pay to UHY and other accounting firms and things we currently pay for, and that she could probably handle internally as well.
So that's why this was set up pretty much. The position originally was 80,000. We really didn't even have a deputy position.
No, that we, and the other reason for the deputy position is she accepted the position of director of accounting as
Right.
contingent on the test and passing the test and being number 3, top 3 in the list. So this does, deputy position does, it's another reason she decided to stay.
And what we did is rather than raise that position up, we kept that just a little bit higher at 85,000. We just raised it a little bit. Then we left the stipend because she does have, a CPA, so I think that's going to be well worth it, the savings on that alone. I went through your sheet with the different things that she could do with that, being a public accountant, certified public accountant.
I'll move this along.
How long have we had her on the payroll?
She's been here since March or April, I think, so 3 months, 4 months, something.
And she just did, the question that I asked James, she just didn't put this in. This was.
She took a
original.
test before she came here.
Yeah.
That list came out last month. She was number 1 on that list, and she got off of that list.
Matt, did you want to say something? I thought he said something.
No, I just think the timing of what we're doing is good, because I mean, if she were to leave, we'd not stuck, but Jim would be the only person in the office trying to put a budget together, and and
Budgets.
a variety of other things.
Do you have a
Correct.
motion?
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried.
It seems like it's a net savings. We're increasing $10,000 to.
Yeah, we're gonna reduce
27.
0.4 expenses.
So also, I think we're gonna have to get used to the idea that, get used to the idea that salaries are going up a whole lot faster than we're used to. And good people are going to be constantly picked off for 5, 10, 15, 20,000.
Yeah, when we posted that job, we got 5 or 6 applications, I think, and probably 2 or 3 of them were qualified, and she was by far the most qualified person. So I think if we had to post that again, we'd be in some issues getting the call.
You've been working with her, we know what we got, which is,
Yeah, very
stay with it.
smart, very good.
We should have a deputy anyway,
I
so
think so, yeah.
I think that's a
Well, I think Art's right. I think we're seeing it everywhere. I mean, private industry always pays more than government, right? When you're a public servant, you work in government, you're not gonna make equivalent to, but like my husband's job gave him a $4 an hour raise. He didn't even ask for a raise. They were like, we don't want you to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Because the market right now,
can't find people
so
in all aspects.
I think Art's right. I think we at some point have to have a larger, and getting rid of the steps. I mean, we're already taking steps in the right direction, absolutely. But I think the climate is changing when it comes to what, employees.
Okay. Is there anyone else who have anything before the point one committee? No? Not? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Give you that.
Feel better, Matt.
You could have it right there.
Are you gonna get on to help with you? And normally I would stay for health and human, even though I'm not part of it, but it's my son's graduation. Like I said, I'm gonna drive right back to London.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to go over those tourism brochures, and if they're not there, I'll be. I'm gonna try and learn how to do it.